Inspired by my mother, I have been granted today the privilege of counting my blessings on the floor of the United States Senate. One of the greatest blessings in my life, and I know for so many people here, has been the blessing of public service. As the scriptures tell us, it is in giving that we receive. Dr. Martin Luther King said it another way. He said, and I quote, "Everyone can be great because everyone can serve," unquote. King taught us in that simple statement that the word great in this context isn't about fame or acclaim or notoriety or riches. Great is about something much more valuable, the opportunity to help others.
Bob Casey is wrapping up his time in Washington, addressing the U.S. Senate for the last time after losing his job in the last month's election.
The other day, I had a chance to sit down with Casey and talk about his 3 decades in public service and what may now lie ahead.
And I've been fighting battles for the people of this state for a decade.
Democrat Bob Casey was 46 when he knocked off incumbent Rick Santorum to win election to the United States Senate. 3 terms later, and now 64, it's Casey who's been knocked off, losing to Republican Dave McCormick. You're young by today's standards. Our president is 14 years older than you. What's next?
I don't know, Ken, and I've got to now begin to really think about that. Look, I need an income. I have to, you know.
Well, you have a pension.
I don't have
right?
I do, but I don't have a trust fund. So
Casey says he'd like to continue the work he's done in office, helping children, seniors, those with disabilities, and veterans, causes he championed as a senator and as state auditor general and treasurer before that. The one office Bob Casey sought and lost is the job his late father once held, which happens to be currently occupied by a fellow Democrat in his first term. You know, as I do, that there's a lot of speculation about Josh Shapiro having higher aspirations than the governor's office. Yeah. Could there be another Governor Bob Casey?
Well, Ken, as I said, I never say never about running for public office.
But that job in particular, you sought it once previously.
Yeah. It gets harder to do that as time goes by. If I run for public office again, it'll be quite a while down the road.
Mayor of Scranton?
Who knows?
Casey's more eager to discuss what he considers his top accomplishments in the Senate, among them helping pass Obamacare, bringing infrastructure funding home to Pennsylvania, and passing the ABLE Act, allowing families to save for a disability in a tax-advantaged way, just like parents might save for their kids' education.
So in essence, because of my bill and getting it passed, now we've had a decade of families saving for a disability, just like you save in a 529 plan for college. We delivered a lot, and I'm proud of that.
Casey now leaves the Capitol, a place where others scheme daily to make a media splash, satisfied with having been quietly effective and being regarded, as a magazine once called him, the most regular guy in the U.S. Senate. Is it true Senator Fetterman calls you mild thing?
He does.
Where did that come from?
I don't know, but it is, as John is often able to do, a creative use of words. But I consider it a compliment. Senator-elect Dave McCormick's margin of victory over Casey last month was 0.2%.